business leaders and thinkers from across the world gathered together to discuss the corporate ethics and risk management. This is Singapore, and you are watching the second Singapore Global Convention presented by Institute of Directors. The theme of this year's convention was the board's ethics and emerging risk strategies in turbulent times. Let's take a look.
It's a great pleasure for me to welcome you all for the second Singapore Global Convention. As far as conferences are concerned, that's not our business, but that's just a way of and a means of getting in touch with you all. This is what the whole purpose is, the networking. Otherwise, the basic role for any such institute of directors is the training of directors, keeping them updated, making sure that they are board ready. That is the most important part. Are they board ready? Because we need more independent directors now, more women directors, and this is become a very important part.
The shift in power of voice is the story of harassment. When the virality of social media mixes with the fragility of trust, companies have to be concerned. Moving from vicious compliance to a culture of compliance is a matter of habit. Managing culture in free space, especially on social media in polarizing times, is also a matter of habit and something that we all need to gear up for. Risk management from an ASEAN and especially from a Singapore-India context, this is one area we need to constantly improve upon. Many businesses, and I'm glad to see that Singapore is one of the most highest investment destinations into India. So lastly, I would like to say, enjoy the conference. This is a great forum to make new friends. Come and live here, do business here. It's a great hub and a gateway to Asia. Thank you so much.
Thank you, General Ahluwalia and Mr. Kapoor and IOD for inviting me. I wanted to bring to this forum one concept which I have a very strong belief in and which we believe in State Bank of India has helped us over the years, that ethical behavior and ethical practices is not an amorphous concept. It is not vague, it is not something you can't quantify. You know, persistent, perennial ethical behavior in an organization can actually pay great dividends to that organization. Coming to risk management practices, again, you know, I would say that risks change over time, risks evolve, what kind of risks you look at. So underpinning of risks are very, I would say, stable, but new risks emerge every day. The board needs to ask the right questions. They must question the management. They must ensure that they have very active oversight over the senior management. Thank you very much.
Risk management is a science. All of us are going to be completely upstaged by those 25-year-olds who really understand what they're talking about. I think we, the directors, you guys will probably, of course, catch up with all this much faster. We need to look at risk from the layman's perspective, because increasingly I find that science is replacing common sense. You put 35 templates in place, 23 systems in place, 3 manuals in place, and you think your risk is managed. But risk is still about common sense. Broadly speaking, as directors, we need to look at the fuzzy part. There are a lot of brilliant youngsters who will look at the details. But above all, it's going to become very, very hard work to ensure that we have both ethics and risk management while making money. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to be here this morning, and you know, I'm following a long list of speakers, everyone who covered risks and ethics. So I'll try and give you a slightly different perspective, one of a market operator. Again, as someone said earlier, there is no business without risk. And if you were to eliminate risk, you would kind of end up eliminating a lot of businesses. So the key here is, in some ways, a balance between the risks you take and the potential outcome and the potential, what you would call, harmful impacts. So with that, I wish you all a good conference and enjoy your day. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Whenever there is a major corporate failure, the question of where is the auditor is asked, and it should be. But it needs to be acknowledged that all players in the ecosystem, the finance director, the senior management team, the auditors, but also the company director, and specifically the audit committee, must fulfill their role in the right way. So it is critical for everyone to work together to ensure that an organization flies and that the regulation of business supports a long-term sustainability growth. So I'm looking forward to a robust discussion today, and thank you very much for inviting me here. Thank you.
Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, IOD is very grateful to His Excellency, Mr. Javed Ashraf, High Commissioner of India in Singapore, for sparing his valuable time to be with us here to inaugurate the second Singapore Global Convention.
Good morning, everyone. Delighted to see that you are back here in Singapore for the second edition of the conference of the IOD. It goes to show also that Singapore has emerged as one of the poles of India's global engagement, as has London, Dubai, New York, in cities where you have been holding sessions of this nature. There are so many different ways in which, as you will discuss today, the corporate, the Companies Act are being strengthened, the different provisions, the responsibility of the boards for statutorily are being further improved. I look forward to seeing you again in the evening and speaking again on a somewhat different subject. But let me thank you once again for inviting me. Let me thank you once again for doing this, and all the best for the conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Now, friends, we have with us some very distinguished leaders of business and industry, where the IOD Council have decided to honor them with the IOD's Distinguished Fellowship Award 2018. So I'd request Mr. Kwa Chong Seng to please receive the award.
Well, you know, after all those words, I'm not quite sure what to say. But I did want to tell the High Commissioner that I was very pleased to hear him talk about corporate governance, ethics, risk management, all the sorts of same values that we in SGX share, the Singapore Exchange. Thank you once again to the IOD for the privilege to be here tonight to receive the award. I wish all of you a pleasant evening. Thank you.
IOD Distinguished Fellowship Award for this 2018 goes to Ms. Chua Sok Kung.
I'm truly honored to be conferred this distinguished fellowship, not least because I greatly appreciate the Institute's work in promoting responsible and sustainable business in India and all over the world. Thank you very much once again, and have a great evening.
Third and then last, Distinguished Fellowship of the Institute of Director Award 2018. His Excellency Sardar Karan Singh Thakral. With the Golden Peacock Award for Innovative Business and Leadership. And it goes to Mr. Glenn Saldana.
I'd like to thank the grand jury for picking me to receive this prestigious award. I want to take this opportunity to say a little bit about Glenmark. So I've been running the firm 17 years. We've gone from a small $32 million operation to about $1.5 billion worldwide. But I think what's unique about Glenmark is not just our commercial presence, it's our innovation and our research focus. Thanks, fellows. Have a good evening. Thank you very much.
On understanding cultures and contexts, it's extremely useful. I'm very glad to see this happening the second time in Singapore, because it brings together companies from this region, China and Singapore to attend. And there is a lot of cross-sharing of experiences and insights, which is very helpful to Indian corporations.
And a platform like IOD is Institute of Director. It is definitely a very good platform for interactions among the members, and also as a lighthouse function, if I may use the word, to convey the message on the duties and the functions of directors, especially in today's business environment.
The convention is unique in the sense that it brings the best of minds on the platform, and what you take out is what you're looking for. I believe that the IOD platform is wider than people know. It is not only Institute of Directors, but during the London Convention, I said I see the acronym as Institute of Divinity, or Infinite Opportunities to Divinity. And we have walked the talk. I have actually created the Institute of Divinity, which is global, and it will be the biggest platform in which there is no religion, only divinity.
I think IID does a fantastic job in putting this platform together. I think the way they go about recognizing excellence in business, and particularly the portions around ethics and code of conduct, which are so important in business, particularly in India today, I think IID is doing a great job with this.
IOD has been one of the, I would say, pioneers in terms of bringing people together. I have seen IOD in Dubai, I have seen IOD in London. The best part is they, trying to bring a community, which is the local community as well as the international community together to talk on various emerging topics. And they've been quite successful. The way they basically bring in, the diversity of crowd, which includes regulators, ministers. You have, people from the private businesses, people from government. So the diversity of people who comes and attends IOD is really something which is phenomenal.
I think what's very clear here, it's an international platform. It's not just an Indian platform, right? The fact that we're here in Singapore speaks volumes to that, right? The outreach is bigger than just one country. And I think that's a reflection of the time. So I think in terms of a platform to exchange ideas, it's the right thing to do, right? Not just focus on one single location.
I mean, I think it's a vital platform. I think any platform like this, and particularly one as well known and esteemed as IOD, really important for collaboration, for sharing ideas, particularly around issues like, important issues of our time around ethics and compliance, such as this, as technology is changing the world. So I think incredibly important.
Mr. T.V. Venkatraman, Vice President, Internal Audit and Risk Management. Mr. Shrikant Subbarayan,
An insightful day transitioned into a mesmerizing evening as the prestigious Golden Peacock Awards were given away. The Golden Peacock Awards are regarded as the benchmark of corporate excellence worldwide. Here is the prestigious award ceremony.
And tonight we are presenting Golden Peacock Awards for Corporate Ethics, Risk Management and Innovation Management. The conferment of Golden Peacock Award for Risk Management, which is the subject theme today. The first award in the sector automobiles. The winner is Ashok Leyland Limited, Chennai. Mr. T.V. Venkatraman, Vice President, Internal Audit and Risk Management. The next winner in the sector Financial Services is Tata Capital Limited, Bombay. Mr. J. Niranjan, Chief Executive Officer, is here to receive the award. So there's another winner in the financial services, that is Edelweiss Financial Services Limited, Bombay. Mr. Shrikant Subbarayan, Group Chief Officer and Chief Corporate Controller, is here to receive the award in person. The next winner is from the sector oil refining. And oil refining, the winner is HPCL Mittal Energy Limited, Noida. Mr. Harak Chand Bantia, Chief Financial Officer, and his team are here to receive the award. The next winner in the sector, IT, Information Technology and E-Governance Services, is NSDL E-Governance Infrastructure Limited, Bombay. The awardee, Mr. Gagan Rai, Managing Director and CEO, has himself come to receive the award. Last winner in this category of the sector, petrochemicals, is Reliance Industries Limited, again Bombay. Dr. Ajit Sapre, Group President R&T, is himself here to receive the award. Friends, that brings us to the end of another memorable evening of Golden Peacock Awards Night.
The second Singapore Global Convention was one of its kind, a platform for world business leaders and thinkers, determined to have effective cybersecurity in this era of digital dominance.
IOD is doing this convention, which is useful for all the board of directors to get an insight and how they have to actively involve in the board proceedings rather than just a passive attendee. So this convention will be much useful to this board of directors and will lead to the proper and correct decision making in the board of directors.
So the role of IOD becomes very, very important to create a set of directors who are ethical, who are focused on ethics and also focused on the latest technology and other initiatives, and keep them abreast of all the rapid changes that are happening in regulation.
Look at the delegates. I mean, I think there are about 300 or 400 delegates here from different countries, from different parts. So it's not just purely Indian. There's a lot of people from Singapore, a lot of people from China, different ages, different cultures. I think that's exactly what this conference is meant to be. It's meant to be a melting pot of ideas. People come in with different ideas and they leave with more ideas.
This is the second year. As I was here last year too, I can see it has gone one notch up in every respect, and I'm hoping this will keep rising. And you know, the conversations are very, very rich, I must say. So it's really powerful.
I think I see a lot more of digitization, and perhaps that is the way the IOD has to look forward, because digitization is there coming up in a big way. It is there to stay. And technology is going to actually accelerate quite a lot of the digitization which is already happening.
This year's convention theme really seems to be AI. That's the thing that's on everybody's lips, and that was my topic for discussion as well. So there's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of anxiety as well around what AI can and cannot do. And I thought that was, again, a very exciting conversation to be a part of.
I think it is very obvious that digitization is the way forward. There are a lot of issues in terms of digitization that we need to think about, cybersecurity, data analytics, and these are really complex issues, and these are exciting times for leaders as well.
Well, I think membership organisations like the IOD can be very powerful for that, for putting together a network that really allows people to look outside their personal experience and plug into the joint experience of such a large number of people. So the opportunity to share knowledge, to work together, you know, the whole is much greater than the sum of its parts, isn't it?
This is very excellent opportunity, and there are three things which I am going to take away. That one is fundamentally there are tools and standards and procedures, so various things are coming. We need to understand and adopt those things. Second is the capability across the organization. Yeah. So those capabilities need to be built. And the third and the most important thing, to make this useful, you need to develop a mindset and behavior of the people. And so these messages are coming out very strongly, and if you integrate these 3 points through the governance, then it is a wonderful thing for the company.
I think this is proving to be a fantastic platform. We partnered as a CCA with IOD in India. We partnered with them at London. We've been a part of the Dubai workshops as well and the conference, and now in Singapore, the second edition. I think it's proving to be a worthwhile platform for allowing a lot of conversations between what's important for directors at this moment in time and what boards are experiencing, whether in India.
One way, I think, as corporate guardians, gatekeepers, as well as stewards for our company, we are in this situation whereby we need to make sure that our governance and ethics are really relevant and in line. And I think this morning we're in good company because the 3 case studies that we're going to hear from are all Golden Peacock winners. And I think we're going to hear from them, learn about their secrets and their journey.
First impression is that GIS is one of the finest institutions in this part of Asia. Some of the most innovative methods have been devised by your founder chairman, who's a great visionary in propagating the finest aspect. And the first impression that we got was that when we went to the Mahatma Gandhi statue to garland it, and then we went to the Mahatma Gandhi's room, that he's propagating the ideals of not only an Indian icon, but who is almost a universal icon. Mahatma Gandhi's inspiration is the best gift your chairman has given to young students and pupils of GIS.